Hey guys, welcome to another episode of CarpFishing.Tips. This week we went through to fun fishing. It was quite a good day. There was a lot of threat of rain and the fishing forecast was at 0%. So we weren't that sure that we'd actually catch anything, but we thought we might as well give it a try, given that normally overcast weather promotes fish biting. This was our swim for the day. We cast out all 4 rods in that direction, and one of the rods, the furthest to the right, was to the right of that swim. This is the bait we were using, strawberry millies with a garlic zero float, highball, and Spider-Man on the bowl dips. And then we had banana floaties, garlic backing, and bandlick. We had caramel floaties, silver medals, and almond on another bowl. And we had mulberry, wild rose, and garlic zeros on the last ball. As you can see, we're testing out the banana and garlic still. We're also testing out the strawberry and garlic, which has given us a couple of good bites. And then our 2 variety pack, if you want, is the silver gems and the caramel floaties, as well as the garlic and wild rose. The wild rose middies with the garlic zero floats. We thought we'd see if that does any difference. It's just part of narrowing down a couple of combinations that should work, could work, might work, may work. But it all really does depend on the fish to a large degree. So the day started off quite interesting. We had a couple of bites immediately after the rain. As you saw in the beginning of this video, the rain was coming down quite bad. It actually started to hail for a bit, and we were a bit concerned that the weather wasn't going to let up and it was actually going to be a full-blown thunderstorm. One of the first for spring here in South Africa. But fortunately it probably lasted about 5-10 minutes, and then we managed to get back to the dam side and start fishing. I was very tempted to throw the ground bait and everything into the dams, but because I was parked so far away, I thought it would be better and more prudent not to do that, and then either number 1, lose the rod, number 2, end up hurting a fish in the process. And there you go, we're into our first little fish. It only took us half an hour, so definitely if you know that the rain's gonna break, it's a good idea to go to the dam and try get some fishing in just after the rain. It does do something to the fish where it just makes them a lot more keen to bite. I mean, when we came back to the rods, the fish were just showing all over the place. So the one good thing about that is it's very easy to cast to, because you just cast to the risers. The reason why we decided to go to fun fishing and not 50 Rand dam was because the rain had made all the gravel roads into mud, and our little Kia doesn't have any ground clearance whatsoever. So rather than get stuck in the mud, we thought we'd take the easy route out and go to fun fishing, where we know that we can get in and out of the dam fairly easily. And for our first catch of the day, this wasn't a terrible size, pretty good average size for fun fishing, but for some reason he just didn't want to get unhooked. So we thought we'd take him out of the water and actually put him on the mat and try and get him unhooked. Now what I'm trying to do here is just cover his eyes so that he can calm down a little bit. And here I'm just getting the forceps out to pull out the hook from him. If you don't have forceps, it's definitely something you should invest in. It makes getting hooks out that much easier, even if they're barbless, because sometimes they just get stuck in weird ways and it's just easier to manipulate them. It's 2.35 kilos, so it's around 1.8 kilos without the net, 1.7. But a nice good looking carp, as you'll see here in a moment. Yep, oh, and there he goes. So here we are, just showing you how we set up the bowl in actual real time. We haven't done this in quite a while, so we thought we'd leave it in. And we just smear the bowl dip around a little bit so it doesn't drip all the way off. And as you can see, we were just walking down the dam. It's easier than casting, and you're a bit more precise, especially when you've got 4 rods in the same vicinity. It helps to be a little bit more precise. I must say, I'd love to know if this bass, what it is with this bass rod, and it always seems to go off first. And here one of our rods has gone off. One of our other rods. Actually, the only rod we didn't catch on here was the telescopic, which I was surprised at. And the telescopic we had cast out quite far to try and get some fish that were showing very close to that reed, to those reeds there, as you can see straight ahead. But yeah, it just didn't. We're not sure if it was the, what do they call it? If it was the bait or the bowl dips. But it seems like these fish were taking pretty much anything. Because our other 3 rods all got bites. We had to get this fish into the other side of the swim, just because of those concrete blocks that are there, and some snags that are further out there. So we managed to horse him in between those 2 concrete blocks and bring him through. The fish were really fighting hard on Saturday. I mean, they felt a lot bigger than what they were. The commons in this dam seem to fight very hard for some reason. Or maybe it's just in general commons fight hard. See, this one was much simpler. Just came right out of the hook. The hook came right out of his mouth, rather. This one was also quite a good weight. And not a bad looking fish at all. Going to be a very well built common one day. This guy seemed to just like being in my hands for some reason. Oh, and then here it looks like my scale went on the fritz. I think it got some water in it, I'm not 100% sure. So, and here's us using a milli bomb and setting all of this up. I thought my scale was gone for the day. Fortunately, I just took out the batteries, put it in the sun, dried up a little bit, and it was good to go after about 15-20 minutes, maybe an hour, can't remember. So that's how we use the milli bomb press. Pretty self-explanatory. And then we just compress the ball around the feeder cage just a little bit so that it sticks to the feeder cage. Obviously the milli bomb's a little bit wet so that it can come off of the... Oh, and if you notice the car in the background there, he's having one hell of a time coming up that bank. And that's why we're at Fun Fishing and not at 50 Rand Dam, because 50 Rand Dam is even worse than that when it comes to rain. So here, as you can see, we're just putting on some garlic dough backing. That's the Signature Series garlic bullets. And the banana hard floats from A to Z Baits. Yeah. So this rod had been going crazy the whole day, and every time we tightened it up it would just stop. And Trees Bob, this is what was on the end of it. The smallest carp I've ever seen in my life. Don't even know how he got the hook in his mouth in the first place. And then this is the other one. This was the, I think this is the... No, sorry, the other one was the silver. It was the silver medals and the caramel floaties. This one here is the banana and garlic. The banana floaties and the garlic backing, sorry. So the silver medals are from Magic Baits, and the Wild Rose is the Drusilla Wild Rose. And the Bandlick is Signature Series again. Since we ran out of Galbana from Detonator Dips, we've been using Bandlick. It's the same thing, just different consistency. And obviously different recipes and whatever. This is the, remember, highball on the highball first, and then Spider-Man, which is strawberry on top, and that's got a garlic float and the strawberry milli on it. And I say the 10mm garlic floats are working quite well with the strawberry millis. So at least you're attacking two areas of the water column. You know, the float will be a little bit higher, and the milli will be much lower, obviously. It will be on the floor. This here I wasn't so sure if it was a carp because there was a bass fisherman on the other side, and I thought maybe he'd caught my line and was pulling it along because it was going at a weird pace. But truce Bob, there was a carp on it. Just trying to navigate all the snags and make sure he doesn't get caught up in anything and we lose him. Also gave us a really good fight. We're probably fighting him for about 10 minutes. This fish was a healthy 3.83. So he's about 3.2, 3.3 kilos, which is quite a nice size. Seems like I'm very gifted at catching that size fish. Hopefully one day soon we'll be catching slightly bigger. Was this the one that looked like a bit of a warrior? I think so. He had a bit of a ratty tail and yeah, he was a bit scratched up. Oh, scratched up, you know, after years of being caught and fighting and spawning and all the rest of it. And that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Another good 3 1/10 carp caught. And this last weekend we had a great time. We hope you did too. We hope you picked up some tips. Our biggest tip is just try go fishing when it's overcast and just after it's rained. It seems to get the fish biting really hard. Other than that, have a great week, have a great weekend, and tight lines, guys. Till next time.